All right, here we go. I just saw eccentric nut. Here we go again. That is right. So, clapping for the start of this stream. Yes. So, how is everyone? This is day 2 of the Toolchanger build. We got a lot more done yesterday than I thought we were going to, but kind of doing this slow. So today we're going to continue the build for a couple hours and see how far we get. All kinds of people in the chats. Hello, everyone. 3D Printing Llama is here. Hello, Tom. Robert Reynolds. Robert V-Line is here. Hello. 3D Jimmy. Sergio's here. Sean Butler's here. Neil is here. Ray is here. Hello, everyone. So, where we left off yesterday, we got a lot of the motion system put together. We got all the extruders put together. And now we have 4 hotends to build with all of the plates and adapters that make it Toolchanger-ish. So there's a lot of packaging. There's going to be a lot of unboxing. So at the beginning of this, we're just going to put together a whole lot of hotends. So let's get to it. Gadget Angel's here. Paul Cumber's here. Hello. Michael Gamber is here. Usually watch recorded. Thank you for joining the stream. You're the Walter to enter screen. Okay. So let's see what we're doing here. Let's start building. So we have receiver parts, fans, brackets, cable support, and I just now realized none of the support parts are going to be provided. You will have to print all those. So that's not going to work. Let's see how far we can get for this. Ooh, they want you to super glue that set screw in. How many? Oh, and you will hear the furnace running in the background. Sorry about that ahead of time. So cable supports, receivers, all that good stuff. So we might not be building very long, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't have all these printed parts, I'll have to print some. We can at least get some stuff started or move on to another step. We'll build something at the very least. Where's OBS? There it is. And that camera's pretty dark. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see anyway, but we'll build something. Hey, NetBot still works. So let's start by just lining all this stuff up here, because we've got a whole lot of hot end parts to deal with. We actually opened this yesterday and looked at the cool blue anodized heatsink. That's cool. And they are the screw fitting, which is nice. I think that's cool. That's something they started doing a while back. This configuration is just for E3D V6s. That's currently the only tool that they offer, but a V6 is a great place to start. And that way you'll have all the mounting stuff, all the plates and everything that you can kind of design your own tool around. So we got all the fixing stuff, the nut to attach it on top, plate, screw fitting. Yeah, so on the E3D stuff, you can, instead of the old groove mount, you can get the screw mount now if you'd like. They I don't know when they started making those. It was a while back, but you can get that option on a lot of the hotends if you want. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for watching my content. I'm glad that I explain things well. Sometimes I don't think that I do explain things well, but it's good to have confirmation that sometimes I get it right. Spreading cheese before you know it, that's right. Copper alloy heater block? No, it looks like it's the old school aluminum block. No such luck. So let's get all this stuff lined out here. It's got one of those really slim line part fans, which, Alright, there's one. They made the screw for Delta printers. I was going to pitch this over there. That's probably a bad idea to do, actually. Probably knock over 5 things. A lot of today is going to be unpacking things. I will have to print some parts, though, before we can continue. I should have done that today, huh? This is just the standard kit. This is the stainless throat. Apparently it does not. Apparently there are a handful of printed parts that you have to print yourself. I was not aware of that until I read the instructions for today's build. E3D should have had the Prusa farm print all the parts for him. David's here, Nova's here, what's up? Clint is here. Happy New Year, Clint. Thanks for joining the stream. Where,
Thanks for all the great content this year. Cheers to an even more successful 2020.
Thank you very much, Jake from State Farm. Those of you that don't know, Jake from State Farm, his name is Matt. And, Matt, that is very much appreciated. Thank you for the tip, and hopefully you're right. Hopefully next year will be even better. Hopefully you have a good new year. Because tomorrow's it. Tomorrow's the last day. So, I don't know, it's there. I was going to say I was missing a fan shroud, but they're clear, and I'm looking for blue. So what'd you miss? I found out first thing when we started the stream. I read the directions, and there's parts that you have to print to set all this stuff up, and I don't have those parts. But we'll do all that we can, and maybe we'll jump a bit forward and get some other stuff done. We'll just see what we can do. I wasn't expecting to even come close to finishing this today. But I do plan on either finishing it Thursday night or Friday night. So we should be printing by the weekend. And if not, we'll finish it over the weekend. I have noticed that the YouTube emails come a little quicker nowadays. I don't know if they've corrected that or what, but sometimes I wouldn't get my own. It wouldn't even tell me that I was streaming for 4 or 5 hours. This is a lot of hotend kits. Yeah, it's good to see. I'm glad YouTube's starting to figure it out. The YouTube Studio, I'm still not used to, because those of you that stream on YouTube, you'll know that they've set it up differently now. You go in and then you launch your software, and you end up with like a preview, and then if that looks good, then you can go live from there. It used to be you just started streaming and you were live. Now you have to go through this sub process to start and stop the stream. And if we found out the other day, if you don't stop it, you end up with a stream that's just running, that's black, and people are still there, not knowing what's going on. So that was interesting. Matt, I have not checked out the specs. I do have some of those boards on the way, but I still haven't looked at the specs. I need to go do that. One of you guys was telling me yesterday, though, that there's quite a few extra pins, and that makes me a little bit excited, because that's what the SKR13 is missing. William, that would be pretty epic. I actually talked to, I think it was Mitch 3D. Him and I were talking about that once, because we were talking about printing Ultim, and you print Ultim at 400C. Well, you could melt solder when you get up into that range. That'd be pretty sweet. Travis, we are back at it. At least for a little while. Lots of bags. You always end up with lots of bags. YouTube, I don't know how well the stream is coming out, but YouTube has been dropping all kinds of frames today. Yeah, I don't know about the part cooling for these fans. I would have rather seen quite a bit bigger fan, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it does make you're minimizing your space with your tool head this way, but those fans aren't usually very stellar. I mean, they work, they'll get the job done, but you could probably use a little bit more air than that at times. But we'll see. Only left side audio is working? I did not know that. It shows... I wonder if that's only on... I wonder if that's something specific to my streaming profile. How about that? That's set to mono. Something has changed with my profile. Huh. Cool. Yeah, maybe I got an update or something changed today. I wonder if it was that way yesterday. Anyway. Fixed-ish. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, ask away if you have a Prusa question. Okay. We can put together all the receiver pieces. It's not like we don't have some work to do, right? This is my grub screw. By the right wrench for it. That's gonna have to be passed through. I'm missing one of these wrenches, by the way. I'm probably getting ready to look for the one that I'm missing. Yep. Build manual's good. It's real good. They're almost too thorough. They're explaining stuff that that I find obvious. It confuses me a little bit sometimes. But it's good. Good build guide. Somebody said the name of the software that they use for these. It's the same one Prusa uses. But somebody knew the name of that software, and that's good stuff. Anytime I see a manual with that, I appreciate it. What we got here? Oh, I just want you to make sure these are flush. Okay. Manually set it to 720 and it's been much better. It was dipping down into like the 2000K range. Usually it doesn't do that. So I don't know. It's been extremely windy here today, so it could be my provider as well. What was the question again? Two-third passing through a 5-inch tall print, making clicking noises and not pushing filament anymore, almost the same place every time. Well, so it's probably a coincidence. So the first inkling that I have of what that's gonna, if it's a Prusa, you're getting heat creep. And unfortunately, with a Noctua fan that doesn't put out a whole lot of air, if it isn't just perfectly set up, if there's anything wrong at all or skewed, you're going to get heat creep. Because that fan is putting out the bare minimum of air that V6 is going to require. So here's what you do. To test it out, preheat the printer, whatever filament you want to use, preheat the printer for a while. Just let it set there. I know you don't want to do that because you're going to cook the filament. Just let it set there for, I don't know, 20 minutes and then start that print again. And the idea is that when that print starts, it's going to start, that issue is going to occur at the very beginning of the print because you've allowed that heat to creep. That will tell you if it's heat creep or not. then I'm reading chat and can't talk and read chat at the same time. So that will tell you if it's heat creep or not. Now, to correct the heat creep, you shouldn't need to do much. The first thing that I would tell you to do is get some boron paste, and like the V6, this little packet in the V6 kit, that's what that is. You can get it from Printed Solid, you can get it from Slice Engineering. Pull the hot end apart, recoat. They coat those hot ends from the factory with that paste. Pull the hot end apart, pack it with that boro paste, all the threads on the barrel, and put it back together. And 95% of the time, that's going to correct the problem. I know it's a pain. Or you could switch to a larger fan. You could go to a Sunnen fan, which they're not near as quiet, but they put out a lot more air. So, but I'm gonna guess that's exactly the issue that you're having. It's pretty common on that Mark III. How do you put together a BMG? It's fairly straightforward, right? I haven't put one together in a while. Only on one print only. Is it a different kind of filament? Don's here. Hello, Don. Heat break to titanium. You could do that. That's a little more pricey of an option. I think that's what boron paste. Yeah. BORON nitride paste. You can get, like I said, Printed Solid has it, Slice Engineering has it. That's what I'd try. M3x8. Pretty much we're just building these tool heads here. Which way do we want that to go? Josh from Alien 3D's here. What's up, Josh? Juan is here. I'm looking forward to the Toolchanger build too. I want to see this thing print. Same filament. I almost guarantee it's not the print though, unless there's something. Well, the extruder's clicking. If you're hearing clicking, then it's almost got to be a thermal issue. You just happen to hit it with this one print. Hey, Brian from 3D Print Channel is here. Hello, Brian. Yeah, it's it doesn't have there's something about that stuff, but yeah, you're right. It dries. It kind of turns into like a chalk. It works kind of as an anti-seize as well. If you've ever tried to get one of those heater cartridges out after they've been running for a while. Kevin Schofield, no, I found out today. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I found out today that you have to print all those parts, and I did not know that. So now we're just kind of finding busy work to do until I can go print those parts. I am not doing it with the Duet 3. I will be using the Duet 2. Hey, thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. You did the exact same thing, Kevin? Well, at least I'm not the only one. No, I really wasn't aware that you had to print parts for this build. That's okay. What am I doing? Where am I? Well, I kind of thought everything would be included. Yeah, I mean, it was pricey, but not even that. I just thought, well, that made sense to me, but I guess not. Where am I? Who are these people? uh, have I printed parts yet? You probably did ask me that, and I had no idea where I was or what I was doing at that time. So I apologize for that. Hmm. It's just kind of interesting how how this is unfolding. Because I really don't have a full grasp on how all this is going to work quite yet. That's another good question. What color should we go with? I guess we'll print them out of PLA. I guess. Since we have blue heat sinks, I kind of hate to not make it match, but that's never really stopped me before. I don't know. That's a good question. Pink, 2 for pink. Where's a good place to get the style of heat break I would need? Well, it depends. It depends on what printer. I'm not sure if there would be a reference. I'm sure one of the companies would be glad to help you, but if it's a common printer, I could tell you which one. Oh, Sidewinder. That's probably some sort of volcano-ish barrel with a PTFE liner in it. You know who would know? Josh from Alien 3D would probably know exactly what part that is. Pink PETG? Maybe. There you go. Event Horizon Blue. No PTFE in this assignment. Okay. I've never had that one apart. Andy, how's it going? Now it's just good old heat block assembly. Burple? Wasn't Burple like a drink in the 80s? Maybe we've talked about this before. You know, it came in like some strange bottle that you had to expand or something. See you later, Don. BMW purple blue color. Gotcha. Doing good, doing good. Mickey, Happy New Year to you. Lenny's here. Hello. I would say that this is probably a 10-hour or so build. I don't know. It depends how much we have to mess with firmware. Firmware might, if we have to mess a lot with firmware, then that's going to take a while. Because it's pretty complicated. Hopefully there's already a nice setup that we can use, and we won't have issues with it. And one more. Randy, I am hoping to mix this up. I would like to get in the business of making these things, you know, designing different tool heads. I think that would be that would be a lot of fun. So hopefully we can design some cool stuff. I definitely don't want to keep the whole thing just 3D printing. But for testing purposes, it's a great place to start. Ollie's here. What's up? Russ just subscribed. Thank you, Russ. All right. So we can put our clips on. Good estimate time. Right on, Kevin. That's good to hear from somebody that's done it before. It went a whole lot faster yesterday than I thought it was going to. They've done a lot of the stuff that you have to fiddle with for you. So that's great. Multiple tool heads at once. That I don't know. I'm not. I would guess you could. I don't see what would. I mean, if you like divided it up in the middle or something, I don't see why you couldn't. I'm sure somebody smarter than me could figure that out. I would guess there's probably a prototype somewhere at E3D that does that exact thing. We're not doing wiring yet. I'm still trying to get hotend stuff together. Put our clips on. I might as well have done that already. I think somebody asked before. So I just mentioned PLA with all metal. Somebody mentioned before if I'd have to season all these hotends. More than likely not. Thermal paste. I don't really want to mess with all those little packets. If you don't mind, I'm going to bring my own. I don't know what this stuff, I mean, I kind of know what it's made out of, but I really don't know how harmful this stuff might be to your health. You probably don't want to get a lot of it on your skin. Alright, that's good to know. This is not my favorite thing to do in the world, but pasting and gluing and things of such.
Would not have made it through printing in 2019 without your help.
Sean Butler. Thank you very much for the 10. That's very nice of you to say. I'm glad that I could be of service. I'm glad I was helpful in some way. That made 2019 worthwhile. Thank you very much for the 10. One? It's like deja vu. Yeah, packets. I'd rather just throw them all away. Types of thermal paste that can kill you. That's not good to hear. I would guess that's true, though. There's probably lots of nasty stuff in a lot of thermal pastes. Subreddit continuing to recommend Monoprice Maker Select V2 in 2019. Yeah, I would think that would be a little bit past its prime by now. I've had recent, within the last year, experience with those machines, and for the money, you can get so much nicer stuff. I would think those would have been forgotten by now with all the cool stuff that's out nowadays. I don't know why you'd buy one. Unless that was all that was available or something, but yeah, I don't see that as being a good idea to buy one in 2019. So for the next 36 hours, don't buy one of those. Yeah. Now you don't just have one problem with a hot end, you have 4. I'm sure this is all very fascinating. Jesse Foreman, what's up? It has been a while. How you been? For everything, except the printed parts I found out, for everything, 4 print heads, 4 V6s, boards, all the stuff to get you set up and running. It was after shipping and customs charges and things like that, it was right at $3,800. It will be retro by then. There you go. John, hey, what's up, John? How you doing? I probably already told everyone this, but I got to. I was in Las Vegas at a conference, and John was there, and I got to stop and talk to John for a little while. It was good to talk to him one-on-one. ISO Jim, what's up? Saw an E10 on sale. Yeah. Well, if they can sell one, they'll give it a shot. All right, what's up? Okay, so they want all of the blocks. Facing out. Guessing that's for wiring purposes. Might as well do it. Total part count? I do not. I wouldn't even want to take a guess. I'm sure E3D could tell us. Awesome. You're only 11 away from 5,000. That's cool. Norman's back from Bermuda. Welcome back to the stream. Stanton? Hello. Jerry's here. Hello. We should totally do different nozzle sizes for experimentation. That's a great, yeah, too many. That is a great idea. What am I doing besides reading chat? Supposed to be spinning this around. There. Now we gotta put a bunch of fans on. And these have self-tappers, yeah. Yeah, in this scenario, you wouldn't need a purge block. This one, they do some priming for each one, so they keep the tools warm, but they do store them at a cooler temperature so you don't ooze everywhere. They do run over to like a bucket. I've seen some configurations where it dumps in a bucket. I've seen some where it'll actually clean on a brass brush. I've seen one that was hooked up to a vacuum, so it would pull the prime or whatever, the prime slag or whatever, it would pull it off so it would be clean. So it does have to prime the nozzles, but it's nothing like the purge blocks on the other machines. Murph will be here before you know it. It's going to turn January in a couple of days, and then boom, Murph. Nine Never Nuts 9. I like that name. Happy Christmas to you and Happy New Year. Okay. Absolutely. Polycarb, all the good stuff. Skalda, have a nice rest, buddy. Thanks for stopping in and saying hey. John, I need to book. I should probably go ahead and think about booking my hotel and all that good stuff. It's a little later this year, too, so that doesn't hurt anything, especially when you go to Goshen, Indiana. In March in Goshen, there could be a foot of snow on the ground. Wouldn't surprise me much. Joel telling life, it's the Toolchanger that drags them in. What will you print first on this printer? I don't know. Not printer, Toolchanger, right? Right. Yep. PC, chocolate, cheese, guacamole. Robbie Mack wants to work on pizza printer. I think we should work on a printer that builds tacos. I don't know. There were a couple of people working on their own Toolchanger designs. I don't know who's released what. I haven't really kept up. Yes, Goshen, Indiana. Murph. That's the Midwest Rip Rap Festival. There are so many 3D printing enthusiasts there, you can't even walk through the room. I'm anxious to see what the venue looks like this year. They're supposedly moving us somewhere else. We have more space. The 3D filament printer. Pair of sneakers, there you go. Multicolor Benchy. We're gonna have to reserve like a whole day just for Toolchanger printing. Might have to find a chair for that stream though. 3D Medic Vince is here. What's up, Vince? Sorry. Zeromer? How's it going? What's the plans with this build? It's mainly just to get into the tool changing ecosystem for me. I want to try my hand at creating some crazy tools for this platform. I think that could get real interesting. Plus, I just think I love to watch these things work. Watching the whole day for sure. A tamale printer. Splitura Designs. Hello. Thanks for joining the stream. Just a nice camera there. Yeah, there you go. We might do that for a while. Anti-blobbing code. I haven't heard anything about that one. 2 done. What printer am I putting this on? So that might be a little confusing to people. The Toolchanger, the chassis is sitting back here on the floor. I was just going to use the table to put some stuff together. So we built that part yesterday, if you're just tuning into the stream today. So it is an all-in-one unit. Just to clear that up in case somebody didn't catch yesterday. What was the big boat? I printed an 800% benchy. Is that what you're talking about? That was on a Foldertech FT6. I know, 3D Meetup Sweden, that would be so cool if I could get over there. Yeah, I don't remember which one he tested. The chocolate printer, I remember him doing that, but I don't recall what system he was using. The only one I really have ever seen is the Cocoa Press. And I saw that at ERF this year. I think it was Cocoa Press was the name. How much filament did that use? I really don't know exactly, because I had like 4 partial spools of black PLA, and I hooked them all up to the pallet so that when it ran out, it would just shift to the next one. So I'm not actually sure how much it used. Probably over 2 kilograms, though, I would guess. At least, maybe right around 2. I knew it couldn't have been done. I knew I had to have at least one more to put together. Starship Forge Chimera. Kevin Shea has subscribed. Thank you, Kevin, if you're watching the stream. Making a mod for 3D wires and conductive filament. I have some of that conductive flexible. I got a sample of it. I need to check that stuff out. My first year on the Twitters, it was okay. It's fun to see what everybody's working on. I don't tweet a whole lot, but it worked out. It was fine. Yeah, Sean, they should all be controlled by the duet. So they will all... they should all spin up at the required time. Can I arrange a spot? I don't know if anybody cares for my channel enough to sponsor a trip to Sweden, but I would be open to suggestions if there was a sponsor willing to do that. I would look at some offers. The multi-material is really cool stuff. I'm hoping that the Toolchanger ecosystem furthers it quite a bit. Let's do crowdfunding. You have a question about ABS. Well, it just so happens I know a little bit about ABS, so fire away. The resistance was so high you couldn't do something with it. That's what I was kind of wondering. I don't know what that stuff is rated at or what that's going to be like. You use the Protopasta stuff. This is made by the same people that make NinjaFlex, the stuff that I have. I think they call it Eel, I believe. Teresa is here. Hello, Teresa. How are you? That's one nice thing about doing the evening streams. Sometimes we get the Australian folks, and I don't get to see them on Sunday mornings because they're sleeping. Cool. Tired and hot. I heard it was really, really hot this season in particular over your way. Jesse Foreman, I felt exactly the same way when I saw Toolchanger, and that's I still every time I stop and watch one, I still feel that same way. It's crazy to watch them work. Somebody had a question about ABS. Did they ever ask it? Travis, you can print small parts in ABS and it can be done. But if you get over a certain size or certain height, especially if you want to do, depending on how dense the part is, like how you got to think about how much it's going to store that heat. If it can cool it slower, so you don't get splitting and warping, you can do it. But if you print something very big, it's just not going to work. It's either going to not stick or it's going to crack. Do some micro Swiss videos and have them sponsor you. Here you go. You're being triggered by left channel audio only. Did it switch back again? No, it says it's still in. It still says it's in mono, and there's both channels now. Because it was that way at the very beginning of the stream. Talk to IKEA. Your best advice: the Vodun is too long, and the Titans are way too frustrating. Go direct drive. Okay. That's a good. That's good information. March 14th to the 15th. Man, sleep. What's that? Over 40C. Okay, now I'm caught up again. Kind of well established. Everybody knows Teresa, right? In your truck? Spin around in a circle. I don't know any. Bontecs are tried and true. You know, I mean, I've used them quite often. They work. There's really nothing to mess up on a Bontec. They work out great. But I would still say I don't know anything about the Humera yet. But I'd still say that just because I want to see people start using them. Basically, I think it's a really good setup. All the video and stuff that I've seen so far about it, everything looks great. So. You can try to link. Most of the time, YouTube will cut that out, but you can give it a try. I don't know. Murph. I know Murph and Earth, but I don't really know what maker fairs or anything that that is going to happen this year. In a blizzard, be careful, man. Be careful. Okay, what else can we do? Thermistor stuff. Let's do Thermistor stuff. What side would they like that Thermistor installed on? Would you like fries with that? Nice, nice. I like to see the opinions. Mike never let the machines win is here. Hello, Mike. Saying much better value on the Humera. Cool. Tom 3D Print Biking. I don't know if I said hi to you today, but hey. No complaints out of the Titan Aero with the Volcano. Right on. Sound is out of sync? Something's up with, I don't know if it's YouTube or the internet. I wonder if I'm still dropping frames like I was before. Yeah, so now it's dropping frames again. It's down to like 2,000 and some. and then it'll jump up, and now it's at like 88 something. So that's probably why the audio goes out of sync. I don't know what's up with it. Again, it is really windy here today, so who knows what might be happening. That's the excitement you have while streaming. Enclosure for the printer allowing her to forward. I don't know about any info, but that's definitely something that we're going to look into is enclosure. I did talk to Mr. Dave Randolph a little bit last night, and I gave him a hint that we would like to have some enclosure panels for these. Dennis Dave says it's grainy. Pixels are getting lost in the YouTubes. Absolutely. You can never have enough power supplies because you're never if you have 10, you might be able to find one. Yeah, that joke is totally missed on me. I totally don't get that. Annie, thank you very much for subscribing. Where is my document? There it is. Thermistor wire will be able to pass through the slot at this stage, so just leave it loose. Okay. Check your orientation. Now we can put all the heaters in.
I would watch you in 240p if I had to.
Jake State Farm says he'd watch in 40 and what 240p. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that, and thanks for the $3. Assembling PCBs is another great idea. You're a professional YouTube moderator now? Do you want to... the problem is the Australians can only join my evening streams, but you have you now have one more you can moderate. I haven't. Speaking of Australians, I haven't caught up on my my JTOG in a while. I know that they missed a few weeks. They were out a few weeks, but that stream's always a good time. If you don't know JTOG, it is JT and Ivan Miranda. And in the U.S. it's at like Central Time. It's at like 8 o'clock on Monday mornings. So you pretty much kind of have to go back and watch them. But they're always interesting. And Ivan and JT make a good pair. So if you don't know JTOG, go check them out. I always enjoy watching it. Plus, they're two of the nicest guys. I've known JT for years on the internet. And Ivan is always entertaining, so. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. I know you. I've seen you on JTOG. I watch JTOG quite often. I don't always chat in JTOG. I don't want to throw any kinks into the works, but a lot of times I will watch it back as well. I've seen you on JTOG. You got a donation from Joel the other day for moderating his stream? Awesome! So I guess I should be tipping my moderators now. I have met JT in person. Jimmy is here. Hello, Jimmy. How are you doing? It's fun. I would watch. Ivan could do videos on a lot of different things, and his energy just makes them entertaining. He's just fun to watch, and it's a good time. No, I am not going to build the Miranda printer. No way. Ron Floyd is here. Hey, Ron. Yep, we don't have to watch over the modem. Yeah, they like to. They don't like 3D printer. It's a Toolchanger. All right, what's this one doing here? Okay, so that one can go through. Cyber printer, yes, building a cyber printer. How are you doing, Greg? I haven't talked to you in a while. I think I got that right. Toolchanger to rule them all. Exactly. NC meetup. There you go. We need more meetups. We need more meetups. We were talking about how we would put together VRF, the Vegas Rip Rap Festival. Okay. And these all go on the tool plates. Staying busy, right on, right on. So they go this a ways. Do my wires run through the top? They do, I'll bet you. Yes, they do. Okay. Yes, for Vegas. There you go. I think we'd all have a great time if we did Vegas Rip Rap. Some of us might not come back. Alright, where are my... So V6 versus Micro Swiss. So that's a tough one to call. You said Ender 3, I believe. That's a tough one to call for me. I would rather have a V6 hot end. Just because there's a lot more stuff that fits it. You can get a lot more options, and they're quite a bit more affordable. But with that said, Micro Swiss is directly compatible. You can get an Ender 3 specific Micro Swiss hot end. So if I were to do it, I would rather go with the hot end that was going to fit, that I could just bolt straight up and not worry about it. I would rather go that route. But if I was going just based on the hot end, I would go V6. So I know that's not a real clear answer, but that's how I feel about it. It's going good, Daniel. Going good. We're getting a few things put together here. Looks right-ish. Ender 5 Plus. But I think that's the same hot end setup, right? As Ender 5, Ender 3. I think all the Creality hot ends bolt up just the same. I could be wrong, but... Got your palette too. Excellent. Move the printer and then start it over. Yeah, I've been there. Aaron, thank you for subscribing. There you go. Sean Butler says he has better luck with Micro Swiss. Frankie87, thank you very much for the 15. Much appreciated, my friend. Thanks for coming to the stream. Aren't the new little stickers just the coolest? Yeah, old curmudgeon, hang tight on that. I've got some videos coming. There was some updates. If you're using like Octopi 017, they've made some changes that affect that install. But I have some videos coming out very soon that will get you around that. So if you run into issues, I should have a fix out for you pretty soon. That's been requested repeatedly. And I think I found a way around it. See you later, Lenny. Ryan is here. Hello. ASIC, I think is, I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Hello. Thanks for joining the stream. Corey Mack is here. Hello. Adam in 3D is here. Hey, hey. What's up? What is your take on a dual triple filament system? And if you like, what is your choice? Dual or I have never really had a dual system or triple system. I've had a couple of I've had one triple and a couple of duals. I've never really found one that I liked that worked very well in the budget range. I know there are some out there, but I don't have any experience with them. That's something I never really, again, something I didn't really find a good fix for. I never found a system that I cared for. I would like to, though. It would be kind of handy to have double once in a while. Now, all the rest of this for the hot end assembly.
Thanks for your stream. Even though I've missed a few lately. Disappointed face.
I love it that it reads the smileys. Anyway, Ron Floyd, thank you very much for the 5. No worries. You catch whatever stream you can. We're always lucky to have you. Dual is just really tricky to get a good configuration that works well. So I am stymied on the continuing of the V6 build. Nine Never Nuts 9, thank you very much for the 100 Swedish krones. I believe that is what that is. Thank you very much. That is appreciated. You guys are too good to me. On mixing extruders / hot ends, I don't have any advice. I really can't get them to work very well. Nice. I'm glad it worked. Yeah, PVA works out okay, but you almost have to dry PVA while you're printing it, because the second it picks up any moisture at all, it turns into wet spaghetti, and it's almost impossible to print. Okay. So we can go ahead and throw the docks together. Yeah, welcome, all the way from Greece. The palette versus MMU2, that's something I get asked all the time. So they have both gotten a ton better from when they. I always have to preface what I say with that. They have both gotten a lot better since they started. And mostly it has been because of software. MMU2 is really particular about what filament you use, not so much as it used to be, but it's still pretty particular about it. So you got to be careful there. Palette 2, I don't care for. They have been improving it incrementally, but I still don't care for the software, the slicing and what is it, Canvas IO that you use for palette. I am a big fan of Prusa Slicer, and you can use. I mean, it's just like using, multiple extruders. You don't have any fancy software that you have to color the models or anything like that. So, I mean, if you had a Prusa printer already and you didn't mind fiddling around with stuff, I think the MMU2 is still probably a better choice. Today is not the day I print. I have to print a bunch of other parts. At this point, my MMU2 on my Mark III is pretty reliable. It wasn't always that way. Steve 3D is here. Welcome, Steve. This printer has 4 complete everything. 4 extruder separs, 4 hotends, all of it separate, and it switches them out. Toolchanger. Thunder 911 is here. Hello. Eduardo subscribed. Thank you very much. I don't really have any plans on testing an MMU2 clone, but you never know what's going to show up, right? Who knows? But I don't have any plans as of right now.
Thanks for your informative video.
Eddie, you are very welcome, and thank you very much for the $2. That is appreciated. I need more printed parts for that. Ooh, Greg wrote that one. I know Greg. Let's see what else. The bed must be moved during the wire installation. So we don't want to do that. We'll do that after the wire installation. We have to print parts for the spool holders. There's a lot of parts to print. Let's check out the Toolhead installation. So let's put the printer back up here. The Toolchanger back up here. I think we're done with this. Probing for device to install failed. I'm not sure. It must be talking about like USB, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look that one up. Chris Travis is here. Hello. Tequila time? Nice. Yep. I'm gonna have to print them all at the same time overnight. We gotta figure out what filament I want to use. Let's just see what this Toolhead install is all about. This thing's getting heavier as we build. Imagine that. I'm guessing this is the coupling kit. Because we're running out of boxes. Timothy from Roswell. Yes, it is fair size. Yes, that's what this is. That's what we're looking for. Install the desktop, and now you get that every time. Huh. Where do you see that message at? Eddie, thank you very much for the 5. That is much appreciated. I will do my best to keep it up. This one does have genuine Highwind rails on it, yes. Sean, hello, how are you? Is Paul here? I missed Paul. Yeah, mixing TPU and other filament, that's definitely on the top of my list of things to try. Wonder if we could do like the hull of a benchy TPU and then everything else in different filaments. That'd be neat. And then it'd bounce. They're getting close to just having. From the note I saw the other day, I think in January they plan that you can just order one. They'll be through all. They'll be done with all the pre-orders, and you should be able to just order one soon. It's coming in the next month or so, from what they said. From the email I got, anyway. Paul Cumber's here. Oh, it's talking about the disk drive. Then it's bouncy, not bitchy. Sure, Sean. Whatever questions you have, let me know. How much? The kit, everything, altogether, 3,800. That's the other Paul that I didn't see come in. Hello, Paul. How are you? Do a TPU, Vinci. They're fun. You can email me if you'd like. You do not have mine. Most of the printers, after they get tested and all of that, after I review and do whatever, Dimitri, thank you very much for the $2. I appreciate that. After I'm done with the testing and everything, most of all these get donated. I have sent quite a few out recently. How do you get in touch with me? That's what I was going to do. Here. You can send me an email. Huge TPU, Benchy. TPU's pricey. I have to find a good deal on it. 4 different color glow in the dark PLA. Okay. Where did I? Here it is. Him 310s. Yes, duet. These are duet 2. You glad to take a 3D printer? If it didn't cost so much to ship them, it'd be easier. I guess that's supposed to go down in that part. Attach end stop to the back of faceplate. Doesn't really want to go down in there. No, yeah, go ahead. Send me an email. I can't guarantee how fast I get back to them, but I do try to get back to them all. I don't know about firmware yet. I haven't gotten that far. I'm hoping they just have something that I can flash. Because Duet has the base riprap firmware on it. And the way you configure it is you're just using script files with G-code commands in it, basically. So you don't really have to compile and throw it back on there. The base firmware will be on the board, and then we're just going to overlay a configuration on top of it. Physical in-stop mod? Alright. How fast can you print a Vinci? You were very welcome, Paul. That was a lot of fun. Yes, I was a Vinci judge. Not something I ever thought I'd do in life, but it was a lot of fun. Stupid questions. They're not stupid. Yeah, I keep some for a while. It just kind of depends on what it is. If I think it's, like I always keep an Ender 3. It just kind of depends on if I think it's going to fly. I do have I have probably 20 setting around, but I just can't keep them all. But I do keep quite a few on hand, and I print with 7 or 8 of them if I want to knock out a project real fast. Plus, you always have the broken factor. So I guess this sits on the back, right? Yeah. But those wires are going to have to move out of the way. That used to be a big thing, beds being warped in the middle. Companies have gotten quite a bit better about checking that, a little more quality control. That used to be really common. Now it still happens, but some companies will make good on that too. They'll send you a different bed. It just kind of depends on who you run into. Okay, let's see. We need to be clear of the central bearing. Okay, they want you to go around one. Ooh, snap ring. This gets really involved. This is what actually does the pickup of the tool and all that and such. I hate to do this. But I'm thinking, well, okay, let's try it. Let's work for a little bit longer anyway. I was gonna say maybe I should just go print my parts and continue this later. But let's work for a little bit longer. Alright, what do we got? 4 M3x5s. Those are those little bitty ones. This is the smallest M3 screw I've ever seen. These are the button head screws. Somebody asked a question. Brian's here, I have to start over. Dad joke. Okay, now I remember that issue. That's good to know that you found it. SSRs were causing problems. Right on. I'm glad you fixed it. It is what time here? 7:15. I've missed a whole bunch of stuff. It's not going too bad, Brian. How about yourself? How are you doing? Oh, I was supposed to remove this wire. It's tricky to put it on and keep these out of the way. Okay. I personally like PEI coated beds on pretty much everything. Corned beef hash? Man, I haven't had any corned beef hash in a long time. This one doesn't want to start. What am I doing wrong here? For M3x5. Brings back memories. This would be helpful if I could see it, right? I'm not even sure. It's been so back in the day, you used to get the feeler gauge out and actually check the level and see what the thickness is and all that good stuff. Now I've been eyeballing it for so many years, I can't even remember what what gauge I would have started with. Honestly. Alright. Yes, it does have a heated bed. I don't know what the maximum tool... That's a good question. I don't know what the maximum tool weight would be. We'll have to have I'm sure I will have all kinds of good questions after this build, waiting for the E3D team when I get to Murph this year. So now we have this little bitty stepper and this gear. What's coming up in 2020? Somebody asked me what my projects are going to be. Kind of more of the same stuff. I've still got, we were working on, I had like an Ender 3 tutorial. I've still got some videos going for that. No, I don't know of really any huge projects. I guess I should think up a couple. Just a lot more testing and things like that. Ooh, 2.5mm screws. Those are not my fave. Yep, I should be at Murph and Earth, as far as I know. I will be there, barring something bad happening. Oh, I have this on the wrong way. A Nerf gun project? That's pretty good. Alright, Brian. Sleep well. We'll catch you later. Have a good New Year. This one is AC. Yeah, I'm just kind of collecting them as I go. I got Bontech, OpenBuilds, a bunch of printed solid. I got a press reset, which is kind of a hard one to get nowadays. I got Graybeard. I got MakerBox. So I'm just kind of adding them as I find them. Standoffs. A drinking stream? I don't think that'd be any fun at all. I prefer to sit down while I'm drinking. I have a Folgertech FT6. What did it take me? Like 3 or 4 days to build that thing? I talked to him. We exchanged some messages over Christmas. I think he's doing all right. I think he's still in Arizona for a while longer. I'm sure he's doing okay. M3x5. Get a bar stool. Carl Schuman's here. Hello, Carl. How many? I'm not exactly sure how many I have. There are miscellaneous printers sitting around in different stages of build, decay, needed to ship, just got, all that good stuff. I'm not exactly sure how many there are. I have a row 6 or 7 that I usually print with, and then I currently have another 3 or 4 that I'm testing. So projects versus testing stuff. So I'm not exactly sure. There might be 20 to 25 printers in this room, maybe. Okay, so the standoffs actually hold. Oh no, the standoffs. Standoffs actually hold this plate on. Oh. Mark III clone. Drank my way across Europe. That would be interesting. Standoffish. I did, Dave. I had to fill out this big long FedEx thing to get them to bring it to me. But it like got stopped. You know, they stopped it, And then FedEx got a hold of me and said, hey, you need to fill out this paperwork. E3D did send me the form, so I could have filled it out ahead of time, but I ended up waiting on FedEx, and I emailed it to it, signed it, scanned it, and emailed it to him. It wasn't a huge deal, but it did stop it for a day. And then I had to pay some money on top of that to get it here. In a pinch, with a go-to printer, Mark IIIs all day. Prusa Mark IIIs, they never let me down. They're quiet. They're consistent. Way to go. Yes, if it's over a certain amount, yes, they get flagged. I believe that is what they said was happening. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. That is one small grub screw. These things get so small my fingers don't want to pick it up. So the shipping and everything was like right at $80, and then the charge on top of that was like 61. I'm not sure about tax. Grublet screw, very. FT5 custom, awesome. Yeah, I'm debating that. I think I might drive to Murph just so I can bring some stuff. I would love to bring the Toolchanger. We'll see if I get that done. But that might be I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I think that would be an option for me. I never get to bring anything, and it kind of depends on what we're gonna do or not do with Fun in the Country Basement at Murph. So I gotta talk to those guys as well. Yeah, I think I'll try to drive. Alright, so that shaft. This is what actually locks the tool. Well, that's actually they give you a thrust bearing to go in there. Carpool to Earth, there you go. Bring log, yeah. If I'm bringing stuff, log will have to come. Educational material. Ryan, speaking of Murph, how's the print coming? You Archie's asking about precision. You would not believe how precise these things are. I watched a video of these things picking up tools and then running out, doing a sequence and then running out and touching a dial gauge and then bringing it back and hanging it up and grabbing another one and going back to that dial gauge. You would not believe how consistent that gauge is. It's amazing. 80%, 86% of the parts. Well, you know the deal. If you get in a pinch and you need parts, just let me know, and I'll hammer out some parts for you. Okay, so there's looks to be a regular race bearing. This one. And then there's a thrust bearing that goes on top of that. Travis, I really don't know how that works. People ask me how can I help, get the name out. I really don't know. Just I always just tell people, just keep watching the videos and enjoying the content, and we'll just let whatever happens happens. I am actually, to tell you the truth, I am extremely happy with my success. We're getting there. Epic Prince got your 1.3 up and running. Awesome. Mad Monkey is here. What's up? I just need a friend. One more benchy is all I need. Wait until they see our multi-material benchy. Note that one bearing race has a larger diameter hole than the other. Really? Okay. Slide the larger internal diameter race onto the shaft of the groove facing downwards. Okay. Hairy benchy. There you go. I'm gonna come back. I'm not gonna fully assemble this. I'm gonna come back and put grease and stuff and all that good stuff. Got my gear. Randall, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for your support on Patreon. That is much appreciated. I'm glad the videos are helpful. That's all I ever wanted. Just to be helpful. I don't know everything. I'm not as sciencey as some, but I try. Prince while it's flying. Now that is an ambitious idea right there. Wow, you have 14 DIY printers running? That's awesome. I got started, Paul, I actually thought about reaching out, how to get started in 3D printing. A buddy of mine who was on YouTube for a while, he hasn't done much lately, got into 3D printing, and he kind of got me hooked. So we ended up like spending a weekend building these monstrous 3D printer kits, and it was, it was a really simple printer, but the kits were so much more involved, 4 years ago or whatever it was. So we spent a whole weekend doing it, and it just kind of went downhill ever since. Things have really ramped up. What we got? Oh. They're loading that thrust bearing with a spring. I was wondering how that was going to work when I saw that bearing. Oh, Paul. I knew you had some of those scripts out on GitHub for doing the multi-octoprint instance. I created a bunch myself, and I was going to have, I was going to show them to you or let you look through them or just at least compare them with what you've done. But I'm releasing all of that stuff this week. So you might have a much trickier way of doing it. Mine was very simple. You still have to make a few choices about cameras and things like that, but I tried to simplify it as much as I could. But I knew you'd done that before. So you were on some stream or something a while back that I caught some of, and I thought about reaching out to you, and then I didn't. Machine grease smell. Doesn't really feel like it wants to go on there. Oh, it's not lining up with this one. Aha! Gotcha. Yeah, cool, Paul. I'll get a hold of you, send you some stuff or whatever. Like I said, I planned on just going through your GitHub stuff. I need to get better about posting stuff on GitHub. I throw all this stuff in a document, and then I'll Dropbox it so you can do a wget on it, and I call it good. I should really put it on GitHub. That top one might be terribly out of focus. Sorry about that. All right. ABL, it homes Z up instead of down. So there's a setting in there that does that, whether you home at min or max. Make sure your home direction for Z is set to -1, I think is what that setting requires. Check that. Alright, well, unfortunately, I have to do a bunch of printing parts to do a whole lot more assembly on this thing. I am not going to work on it tomorrow or Wednesday, but I think we'll come back and work on it either Thursday night or Friday night, or maybe both, depending on how this goes. I know I didn't... oh, by the way, Randall, thank you very much for joining on Patreon. I forgot to thank you. That is much appreciated. The continued support on Patreon is awesome. And people have really been rocking it lately with all the support. I really appreciate that. So yeah, we're going to have to print some parts. I'm going to have to find a really awesome color to use as well. Hopefully I have something really good. But yeah, so I think we're gonna finish this up Thursday. Let me get all my stuffs going here. So yeah, we only went a little over about 2 hours and some change today. We went 3 hours yesterday. Drinking New Year's stream. I'll set the next stream up. We'll get it scheduled. But we made some progress. At least we got some hotends and stuff put together. So that's good. I knew that there was going to be a lot of monotony with the 4 difference of everything. So, but we got a few things down. I'm going to go use this extra time to get some stuff printing. And I will be back. I don't have an official Chris Riley filament. I want basement black. Somebody needs to make basement black. They don't even have to call it my name, but you'll know which one it is, right? So we will see you later this week. Thank you for everybody for the tips. Thanks for everybody for joining, hanging out with me on all these streams. It's a lot of fun. I don't know what else to say. Happy New Year, everybody. Next time I see you, it will be 2020, new decade. So that'll be good, right? But thanks again. I will see you later on this week.